I just released a new one last month. It's called the Neverland, and I kind of wrote it about my son growing up during the pandemic, and it's like a sequel to the original Peter Pan story, but it's basically a boy escapes the pandemic to go to Neverland and finds that the magic is all lost from the island, and he has to go on a quest to basically bring the magic back. So I wanted to write some. I try to write things that are relevant to the world that we're living in. So.
How's the weekend been so far?
It's good. Yesterday was actually very busy for a Friday, shockingly so, and today's going pretty good so far, and hopefully tomorrow continues that trend.
So I know for a fact my arm can go this far, it's still this tight unless it's on my finger. So this way I can go this far.
Alright, now we're gonna do some time. You're gonna move at this beat. That's where your movements are. That's your punches, that's your movement. Ready? Go. Again. Ready? And go.
But yeah. So everyone was being evil because Azul is evil. But I thought, and they were yelling and like and I thought I'm gonna make it like so quiet and so creepy, to where she doesn't have to do anything to be like the tides come out of this ship. And not to worry less about the tides who already made up their mind about Kevin, and worry more about me who's still mulling it over. And I just thought it's way more like, it is. I play the voice of the pirate Red on the Pirates of the Caribbean, and people on the Pirates of the Caribbean where I say, they want the rum, don't they, boys? I just say, it's the rum they want. And I waited forever to get on that, and then my kids complained about it the entire time, and I was like, it's Mom, and they're like, we don't care, we live with you.
Over 10 years ago, they asked me to audition, which I did, but I got like fake sides.
Right.
So. And then when they knew that they were kind of interested in me, I don't know how many people they were interested in, but when I was one of the guys they were interested in, I got to go to Disney in London.
Oh!
And I got to read the first 2 scripts.
Okay.
And at this point, I didn't know what I was, and also I didn't grow up reading comic books, so I really had no idea.
Fair.
And I sat in a room with 2 guys watching me read the scripts. I don't know why they needed 2.
They needed to, just to make sure, both sides.
In case I suddenly took them out, And I sat down and read these 2 scripts, and I walked out of there and I was nervous. Because I was like, I really like this. This is really impressive.
Yes.
And those first 2 scripts by Giugotta were, they just felt different.
Of course.
They just felt different. You read, as an actor, if you're lucky, you read a lot of scripts, and a lot of bad ones.
Happens.
And a lot of good ones as well.
Yes.
You read a lot of bad ones, and I just remember thinking this has the potential to be sensational.
Absolutely.
Superman's weakness is kryptonite, as we all know. And my weakness is sweets. I love junk food. What is your kryptonite?
Sour Patch Kids. Chips, any kind of salty chips, I'm done. I can't. Like Cheetos, forget it. Cheetos is my kryptonite. Absolutely without.
Do you like the flaming hot ones?
No,
or just the regular?
no, just the regular ones that get all over my fingers. And I sit in my own filth. After what have you done? You have the evidence all over you.
Do you get a remorse after you're done? I definitely clean off my fingers. Tom?
I would say French fries, and I've gotten really good at not ordering them. I have 2 little boys, and man, when they're on the table, I just gotta take one. I end up eating one.
Do you do salt and vinegar, or do you like just ketchup? What do you do?
I don't even, because there's no catch up, that's fine, I'll see you. It's I see them and I'm like, I told myself, just one.
That's like I can't have snacks in the house or I'll eat them all. What about you, Michaela?
600?
We're 600.
That's crazy. Oh, I got less than that. They said it was, well, I was like, well, it's not bad. At least it's $100 an hour, but it was $100. 600 audiobooks.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can talk about the rates of work these days, but I just turned 30 last year. Is anyone in the, I know, but is anyone in the window of like 25 to 35? Raise your hands, raise your hands. Okay, wow. Yeah. So it's a little chaotic in the world. So I'm just trying to like take care of my body. So, okay. I live in LA. I'm from Southern Indiana. I was born in Southern Indiana, like 20 minutes north of Louisville, Kentucky. So I'm accustomed to these parts. But I grew up in Los Angeles for the most part, and I moved back there after COVID, or during COVID. I was in New York for a few years. And kind of got back into voice acting recently because they put Avatar on Netflix. So now when I'm home and have a second, I usually try to get up and try to go to the gym. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I attempt to eat breakfast. Sometimes that is difficult, but I stare at the fridge and I go, what? And then, and what do I do? And then I feed this little fur creature down here. Mr. Maddox, he's 4 years old, and I'm so happy that I have him in my life. And then I should take a shower, and sometimes that's involved because skincare, and I have to somehow make my hair look decent. And then if there are any auditions, I try to tuck myself into a closet and be like, all right, let's just put all our energy into this. That will go into a black void, and I will probably never hear back from. Awesome, let's do it. And I think I auditioned for like 450 things last year. I think I got one. Wow. So it's great. And then sometimes I have a scene study class for on camera, because I'm trying to do some on camera stuff. And I attempt to catch up with friends. I attempt to check in on my mother. Sometimes I'll FaceTime my grandparents. I will try to sit down and read or write and sing. I need to practice singing. And yeah, that's kind of the day.
You're right.
Some sort of combination. Chaotic.
Yeah.
And then I'm also trying to like post on social media, make a funny TikTok, and be like, oh, I should try to think ahead.
She surprised us with her vlog back there. We were all like death in the morning, and she's like, hey everybody, and she's like,
She was doing still pictures, so I just froze. I was like, it's a moving picture, a motion picture is what that's called.
Well, imagine that over your whole head and shoulders for about 15 minutes. And it was actually probably the most claustrophobic thing I've ever done in my life.
It was also the quietest I've ever done.
Yeah. So, but then afterwards, after we finished, and they made like a full bust of what they can actually make these ears off, so it fits onto your head perfectly. I asked one of the girls in the department, any chance I could get a head? And she laughed, and, yeah, okay, yeah. So I've got this plaster head of myself. And I'll put different hats depending on the season. So, you know, Christmas, there's Christmas hats. Easter, we put a little bonnet on him and stuff like that. So, yeah, random stuff around the house, which is funny if you get workmen in, because they walk in and you've got an ear, well, not even an ear, like half an ear, which has been blown off, and a head. That's about as far as it goes, really.
Very crowded, so pretty proud of the ladies.
And also, as I learned firsthand when you're on the Hogwarts Express, if you stick your head out the window, soot is very messy.
Oliver, George had a huge emotional journey after Fred's passing. What was the most challenging part of portraying George's grief, and how did you prepare for those more silent moments? Wardrobe change.
Yeah, wardrobe change. Can't be a good one. Yeah, it was just what it was. into it. Like people ask this question quite a lot, and I don't know why, because I think they know what the answer is. You know, it wasn't like I was walking into a set skipping, whistling. But yeah, you just know what's going to happen. Like we read the books, we knew that happened to the characters, and you kind of have to get yourself in that mindset. And that's the cool thing about working with a lot of the actors who we were working with, especially the older guys, is being able to ask their opinion for it. Like going up to Julie Walters and saying, how would you prepare for this? Yeah. And being told, and like speaking to David Yates and asking him different ideas as well. And being able to take that on board. And it was all going really well. You kind of get into that mindset before you leave your dressing room. So you're already in that emotional state. And then you get on set. And it was a pretty, I thought it was going to be a closed set, so I thought it was just going to be cameraman and maybe the 5 actors on set. It was the great hall was filled with supporting actors and stuff. So I get on set and I'm already like in that emotional state, ready to go. And then one of the makeup girls just comes over and goes, hi, and has this eucalyptus spray. It's in my eyes, I'm crying my eyes out. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from.
Some of you probably already know, but we do this podcast called Talkville, and so we watch the series. And what I've been able to take away from is I can see where I look more not comfortable, but in the beginning I was so quick to say my line, or so like amped up, and throughout the series I could see me sort of settling in, allowing myself to take a moment in between lines perhaps, or something, and just not feeling rushed as much.
Yeah, I saw everybody grow. I really did. Like watching the characters when they start and by the time it ended, like everybody really pulled their weight, so.
I think it was a great show to work on before doing other things as well, because you are forced to put yourself in the mechanism of the vehicle. So you have to figure out the technical, you have to figure out the shot, and what they want, and how they want it to happen. Maybe you don't, but I did. And what I loved about it is that
I was laughing because you burped.
There's that pretzel. So I learned that piece of it for myself, and I could take that bit of knowledge everywhere else I went, because you sometimes will meet actors where they're like, I just don't feel it. I just don't really want to look to the left. And in that one, you had to go, no, you figure out how to make it work, because that's what they need, because it's about the shot, and the shot is what makes it beautiful. And so that practically was something that I became very comfortable with. And then on a personal level, and it kind of works for life, I believe I could tune out my mind a little bit more and lead with my heart and just be like, okay, you got this. And I started to have more fun.
Hello, and thank you for watching our Fan Expo panel highlights and little bit of a recap just of the show floor right there. And if you checked out our show floor short on this channel, thank you in advance or past. If you like everything you've seen so far, be sure to check out some of the other things we do over here, like Views from Metropolis, our Superman podcast leading into James Gunn's Superman, where we go back and look at all of these different iterations of the character. Check out our sister channel for you gamers out there, run by one of my partners, Taylor Cleek, where our Twitch streams go to live after the fact. That's the VOD, so you can go check out those there, and also the shorts that he sets up from those. And as well, if you are free on April 17th, check out our live stream of Millennial Geek Trivia. Fandoms of all sorts will be represented, whether that be anime fans, action adventure fans, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek, doesn't matter. Your fandom will be represented, so be sure to check that out. But with that, folks, signing off, I am Matt, and this was a real highlight video. We'll see you next time.